Coming up next, I've got nothing on the teleprompter, but we're going to do a show anyway. Good stuff coming, and it all starts right now. In case you're wondering if I am coming to you live, that proves it. Sometimes technology fails. So here's what is coming up. Talk about deer in the headlights. What a good lesson to start the program. You got to keep going. You can't let them see you sweat. You got to roll with it. Here's what we're going to start with. 20 of the fastest growing jobs for seniors. That's really, really important. I'll explain why in just a few moments. Also, for those of you that are looking for new jobs, you start the new year, it's coming around the corner, how to write a cover letter. I've got some very specific tips we're going to roll through. Of course, we're going to take your calls and your chats as well. You are joining the Ken Coleman Show live from Ramsey Solution Studios in Nashville, and it is a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. It is all about your purpose. So if you are absolutely unclear, no clue what you're supposed to do in your life with your work, you're in the right place. If you know what it is, but you don't know how to get there, you're in the right place. And if you know what it is, you know how to get there, but you're just scared to step out, you're in the right place. It pretty much encompasses everybody that calls into the program. It is a call-in show, 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. The 20 fastest growing jobs for seniors. Here's why I'm sharing this. New data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that workers 65 and older is the second highest unemployment rate. That group, so that demographic, 65 and older, second highest unemployment rate. And it's important that if you've got a senior in your home, in your friend network, and they're struggling to get a job, this is why this information is really important. I'm going to roll through these really quick because there's 20 of them. And by the way, you can send this show. You can just send today's show after we're live here. It runs for 24 hours on demand here on YouTube. So you can send them, say, hey, watch the first few minutes of the show. Construction managers, applications and system software developers. I was thrilled about this because Bethel Tech, we've just signed a partnership with them, and we're sending people to them because they can train you in 9 months for $15,000 or less if you use the Ken Coleman discount. And to see that 65 and older, a big category are applications and system software developers, really exciting. Manual packers and packagers, psychologists, taxi drivers, and chauffeurs, counselors, general and operations managers, computer programmers. There it is, another technology job. BethelTech.net. Tell them Ken sent you. Construction laborers, human resource workers, marketing and sales managers, licensed practical and licensed vocational nurses. By the way, that is exploding with this recent spike in coronavirus. I mean, I read an article this morning that certain states, their medical systems are trying to get retired doctors and nurses to come out of retirement. It's very interesting. Artists and related workers, electricians, food preparation workers, musicians and singers, recreation and fitness workers, shipping, receiving, traffic clerks, librarians, and finally nursing, psychiatric, and home health aides. If you are a healthy senior, when you talk about home health, certainly during coronavirus, what an exploding industry that is, where they just need people who can come in and provide home health services, just assisting. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in, 844-747-2577. Let's go to Lynn to start us off. She is in Waterbury, Connecticut. Lynn, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you today?
I am living the dream, Lynn. What's going on?
Well, so we spoke last year. I was a legal assistant for 14 years and wanted a career change. So I was able to change paths in earlier this year. I wanted to go into the medical field, so I was able to obtain a part-time position in a medical office, but I'm having a lot of struggles with my coworker, and it's getting to the point where I'm physically so stressed out I'm sick, and I just wanted to know some advice on how I should handle it. Should I stay or should I go?
Wow. Well, I think the first thing we have to figure out is how much of your issues with the coworker are truly avoidable if you had this mindset of, I'm just not going to let them bother me. I'm just going to ignore the nasty. Is that possible?
I've been trying. So I think a lot of it, is my own thing, but it's just a constant, she's very abrasive. She doesn't want to be friendly, and I get that we don't have to be friends, but we do have to be coworkers.
Yeah, so describe what she's doing. I want to know the most egregious, what is causing the greatest amount of stress for you. When she does these things, it makes you physically ill. What are they?
So so the biggest issue is she is constantly telling me not to ask my boss's direction on things and to just do it her way.
Okay.
And that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
All right, stop right there. And I'm going to be real straightforward with you because that's why you called me. I don't want to waste your time.
Yep.
That right there is totally avoidable for you. You just need to literally ignore her. She has no authority over you. None. Now, I understand. Right. I am not minimizing how irritating that is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
But this is the same as me telling one of my kids that when one of the other siblings is trying to goad them, it's not okay for the other sibling to goad them and pick at them. However, you and I both know that if the kids would just trust us and ignore it, you take all the power away.
Yep. I know this is so. How do I? So the best way is just to ignore it. Like I have to deal with this woman, when she's saying this. So
just look at her and smile. Look at her.
Stand up to her.
Yeah, but my point is I don't even think I agree. I don't disagree with your husband, but I don't think you have to stand up to her. That implies that there needs to be a confrontation. I think that's a one-time deal. Hey, listen, I'm not going to do it your way. I'm going to do it the way that I think is the right way. But see, then that invites another comment and then blah, 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 blah. Now here we are in a confrontation. I think you just ignore her. Just smile at her.
Okay.
Okay. Or listen, what else you want to do? I mean, I just don't think that's enough of a reason for you to be physically ill.
Yeah.
You are giving her too much power.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I know I am.
So my point is,
and I just didn't know the best way to handle it.
Well, let me ask you this. If you ignored her, don't you think she'd get the message?
No, not really. I don't think she's going to change. And actually, I brought it up to my bosses several times.
And what'd they say?
They had a conversation with her, and it stopped for about a month, and then it's right back where it was. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. You have to keep going to them and saying, this is the most major issue. She doesn't want me to check in with you, and I'm not going to do that. And I'm not trying to be the squeaky wheel here, but you've addressed it. She fixes it, and then she falls back into it. You guys just need to be aware. I'm going to get over it, but I just want you to be aware she's still doing it. And you've got to make yourself tremendously valuable to them where they go, we want to take care of this because they need to stop it, number one. I think if they refuse to stop it, then you're starting to, you need to be quickly looking for another opportunity. But I don't want you to jump. And what I was trying to address first, and I agree the leadership should stop it. So that's why I'm saying that. Okay. Okay.
But I also think you're giving her too much power. And I think that when she says that stuff to you, she's sticking her nose in your own business. I would try to do your work and keep it kind of away from her. And I know you work together, whatever, but you communicating that you want to go talk to your leader about it and then her giving her 2 cents worth, I would not give her openings. So I would guard yourself, number one, in what you're saying around her and what you're doing to where she feels like she can just pipe in. I think I'd start there. But then I would just say, hey, listen, I'm going to do things the right way. And it may be different than you, but it's still the right way. Thank you for your input, but I'm good. And just put a stop to it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what else does she do? I'm just curious. It's got to be something else.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much she goes over everything I've done, because she works in the mornings, and then we have an overlap of about an hour, and then I work in the afternoons. And she pretty much goes over everything I did the day before, critiques it, and is happy to share what she thinks is wrong when I did the day before.
Okay, so here's the deal. When she does that, you have to say, hey, this isn't good for us. I don't need you to critique me. I appreciate, but I don't need this. And this isn't good for us. You can take this to the leader. Just, you've got to put a stop to it. No. I'm telling you, tell her that. You got to put a stop to it by saying, you're not my supervisor. Thank you for the input. We don't need to do this.
Okay.
What else does she do? Give me something else. I'm on a roll.
Well, again, she does her own. She has her own set of rules where the office rules are supposed to be: you're not supposed to be on your cell phone. You're not supposed to be doing personal stuff on the computer. And I know she does a lot of that. And I'm thankful that I don't, because I've learned a lot in this job. I used to do that at my other job.
Listen to me, Lynn. Listen. I get it. But you have 1 hour where you guys are in the same space a day.
I know.
1 hour.
I know.
Stop giving this woman space in your head. She's living rent free in your head.
Oh, absolutely.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
That's what I have to do. Yeah.
I'm not, listen, I'm not putting this all on you, but we've already addressed, you need to take it to leadership, and leadership needs to do something about it. But I will tell you that you've done that. And I think most of this stuff is really not leader stuff. I think you just take the power away from her, and then she just quits. She just goes, I'm not getting any reaction from Lynn at all. I might as well be talking to a wall.
Yeah. I don't think the leadership has told me that she was not going to like whoever they hired when I came into this position. They said, we knew she wasn't going to like anybody, and don't think we don't see what she's doing to you, because the other thing, she would snicker when I would say stuff in meetings, roll her eyes.
But again, take the high road. These are, so at some point the leaders need to fix this, and you need to decide, is this a place you want to be much longer? I will tell you that. I don't think this is a great place for you, because I would look, if I had the leaders on the phone, I'd wear them out right now.
Yeah.
All right. But listen, I'm trying to give you short-term and long-term advice. Short-term is stop giving this woman space in your head. You need to be the bigger person and start actually acting like it, because I know you are the bigger person. All right. And just shut her down. I mean, adults aren't used to the old silent treatment like we did when we were kids and teenagers, but it's a wonderful tactic. It is. It'll drive her bananas. Okay. Now that's the short term. Either she gets the message and changes, or you start looking for something else, because I don't think leadership's really going to solve the problem for you. So I think you can actually solve this problem. But I'm okay with you moving to another position, because if you want to do this work, and it sounds like you do, then I'd be looking for a more long-term solution anyway.
Well, I am looking. And so my question is, I did have a job interview and got offered the job of what I thought was going to be my dream job. It was a full-time position in a bariatric office, and I thought, this is my dream job. I want to do nutrition. This is my foot in the door. It had all the benefits, and I got scared, because I thought, oh my God, what if I step into another situation where I don't like my coworkers?
Lynn, how long ago was this offer? Did you turn it down?
Yeah, I did. A couple weeks ago.
Oh, Lynn, please don't ever do that again.
I know.
Will you please? I've already had you on this program once. Would you call me next time?
I thought it was the dream. Yeah, I did email you. Actually, it's taken me a couple weeks to get into that.
I know. Well, a lot of people want to talk to me, so I get it. But my point is, you need to take that. I call them back, see if the job's still available. Okay. Yep. Lynn, listen, you're not going to walk into this all the time. You know what I think? Yeah. I think that you have a challenge in the future. It needs to start with tackling this today. Yep. But you are allowing difficult people to dictate your life, and that's got to stop. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. It's got to stop. Yep. Okay. You passed up a full-time potential dream job I'm not piling on here. I just want this to get through to you. You passed up on a really good opportunity.
Yep.
Because of a difficult person in your current situation, and you just think, well, there's got to be another one of her in this place. And if there is, what am I going to do? I know. All right. Well, listen, here's the deal. Good news is this. There are more of those out there. Go find them and do it with reckless abandon to find that place and go do it and learn how to deal with difficult people. There is no office in the world that doesn't have difficult people. I hate to tell you that. There's some difficult people at Ramsey Solutions. There just has to be. Why do I know this? Because it's a building full of humans. I'm not naming any names, guys. The control booth's looking at me smiling like I'm not, besides Joe, I'm not thinking of anybody else. Do you know what I mean? Did I say that out loud? Did that
yes, you did. Cut that out.
I kid. Joe is a saint. But am I not right, guys? Does that hold up in the control room?
Oh, of course. It's human nature.
Yeah, it's just going to be some people that are a little harder to get along with than others. You know what? Some of this has got to be on us, folks. Put your big boy pants on, your big girl pants. I don't think you got to be rude. But I do think, Joe, what I just said is spot on. I think a well-placed silent treatment would shock a lot of adults. They just say something snarky and nasty to you. And I even like, now some of you are thinking the silent treatment is no eye contact. I like the eye contact followed by zilch. I heard you.
It'll drive people crazy. What's he thinking?
Bananas. And I don't mean stink eye, this look of death. I just mean let them know, yeah, I heard you. You are completely ridiculous, and I'm not even going to honor that comment with a response. I just think that'll work. Now, you can't do that all the time. You can't go around ignoring people, but you know what I'm saying? I just think it'd shock a couple of adults. Because here's the deal. Sometimes they don't even know what they're doing. They're so hurting and angry and nasty that they're just out shooting darts at everybody they can possibly get at, and they need to know that it penetrated your skin and stung you. And when you just go and just leave them with silence, they don't know what to do, and drive them back to their nasty stew and walk away. That's good right there. I didn't plan to say that, but that's really good. Lynn, thank you for the call. You got this. Come on now. All right, 844-747-2577, Long Island, New York, where James is joining us. James, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. How you doing? Nice to talk to you.
Thank you, sir. Good to talk to you. What's up?
Not too much. Just want to get your advice on something. I've been working for the state doing tax collecting for the past 8 years. Done a few different positions, and as you can imagine, tax collecting is not a very fulfilling career path. So,
really, you mean people don't love to hear from you?
not at all.
You're telling me that being a tax collector is not a warm and fuzzy position?
No, I am
never. Astounded right now.
Maybe 1 out of 100 is actually happy. Just right. Some guidance.
Yes, well, that's true.
Guidance, but
that's true. That is true. That is very true. All right. So where do you want to go?
I don't know. I had kicked around a couple of ideas over the years. I just,
Let me hear those ideas, because see, you actually do know, but I think you're scared or you doubt that you can get there. Is that about right?
Well, it's about right, and the fear thing is definitely prevalent because, working for the state is comfortable, and it's so comfortable to the point where it's like, well, I don't have to do anything right now. So
yeah, but you're miserable. Let's be honest.
Miserable. Yeah, getting there.
That's what I'm saying. Comfortable is a lie. You're comfortable in that you're not worried about your next paycheck, maybe. But other than that, you're miserable. Let's be honest. Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right. So give me these ideas. You've had a couple ideas. Give me the ideas.
Well, I always thought about, doing something where I'd be, writing a book or a blog or something like that, because I think a lot about things that I wish I knew, like when I was in high school, that were never
Tell me about those
passed
things.
on to me.
Tell me
well,
those.
like student loan debt. I feel like, you know, obviously that's a big topic on Dave's show, obviously, and you know, I stepped in it a couple of times, got myself out of it thanks to Dave's help. But you know, I just feel like not enough education is passed on to the, you know.
All right. Besides writing, what's another idea?
Well, I thought about doing something in like the tech world, you know, like coding, something like that. I just, you know, unfortunately, I just don't know where to begin with something like that.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I can get you there. Is there anything else?
Let's see, there was something else. Went right out of my head. I'm blanking.
All right. So just for fun, what would you do tomorrow if you knew that you could not fail and you didn't have to commit to it for the rest of your professional life, but it would be this fun work adventure? The pay is there, the passion is there, and you can't fail. What would you try tomorrow?
More the first thing, you know, to you know.
Yeah, you like writing,
speaking, and
so you
writing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So communication is your jam.
Somewhat, yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's your jam. You would be a full-time communicator, is what I heard you say.
I think I would, yeah.
What would you be speaking about? What would you be writing about?
Yeah.
Is it
you know,
finances?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm just asking. I want you to be real specific. What would you, if you were going to be a full-time communicator, which let's just basically say that that's what I am. Okay? I broadcast, I write, I speak, okay? I create content. That's what I do. So if you were a full-time communicator, what would be your message, or just an area, a generalized topic of interest?
Well, I think finances would be, you know, generally speaking. I would, again, I'd like to talk to high schoolers about, you know, picking a major and not just going to college just because, you know, because obviously the student loan debt trap is real, as we've said already.
So where could you do that? Where could you do that and not have to build a big, giant public platform, but begin to do that? Where are some places that you could begin to give that advice to students?
You know, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. High school guidance counselor is one. Maybe even a college advisor. You understand what I'm saying? Where you've got that audience in front of you. Or do you want to be totally on the finance side of things? Because you gave me kind of a Ken Coleman, Dave Ramsey answer. You know, I want to help kids decide what they want to do and where they should go to college and why. And I also want to help them avoid the massive student loan debt. Do you see what we're identifying here?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, are you interested in being a guidance counselor or academic advisor? Does that interest you at all?
Well, here's the other thing too. You know, like I hear what you're saying, and that, you know, that would probably put me in a good position. But then being part of having worked for the government, you know, you'd be working part of a system where you do get pressure to, you know, steer these kids towards certain things, and we want certain kids to go to Harvard, and, you know, make push them that way. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Like I'd hate to be like restricted in that.
Okay, so that's a good answer. That's a good answer, James, because now you're beginning to say what you're beginning to reveal is that mission, those results that you want to create. So we talk about talent, passion, and mission on this show. What does James do best? What work does James love to do? What results does James want to create? And so you're going, hey, I don't know if I want to be in an institutionalized thing. I kind of want to be my own guy and my own voice. And yet you enjoy the technology piece. You're intrigued by that, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I you know, with what I do, I'm on it all the time. So it's what if you got educated by Bethel Tech, who's a partner of the Ken Coleman Show? 9-month program, less than $15,000. Okay, if you pay cash, and they'll come up with a monthly cash plan for you. Okay, and they get you placed. They got an 80% placement rating, and they can teach you coding. They can teach you all types of technology jobs. And what happens if you got that skill set and got into technology, started making more money than you've ever made, and you've got the skill set as well? And on the side, you start this blog, or you start a podcast or a YouTube channel, and you begin to produce this content that's just making your heart swell. And then you've got some technology skills to be able to do your own stuff, to support your own stuff. And what if you build that side hustle while you're advancing in technology,
and you eventually do your own thing. How's that sound?
Good.
How's that sound?
Sounds great. Sounds awesome.
I mean, I'm saying that's a pathway for you, is to move into technology, get the skill set, have somebody else pay you to program, and then you could program your own website, your own app. But someone else is paying you, and you're doing it on the side. Because I had to build my platform, my message on the side. I didn't just show up one day to Dave Ramsey and go, hey, I think I got an idea for a radio show. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
It's just something to think about. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to call today, within the hour. I want you to call. I want you to go to betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. Okay, and you just call them up. Say, hey, I called Ken's show today. I'm thinking about a career in technology. Explain how you guys, because they've got an incredible program. What if I told you 9 months from now you could be interviewing or stepping into a technology position?
That would be surprising.
Well, it's not a surprise. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And you ready for this? You do it online. And so you can do it while you're in your full-time job because you're bored out of your skull anyway. So this is perfect for you. I want you to call them and just talk to them. And I think you're going to want to sign up. And you're about 9 months away from starting a whole new adventure. And I think it'll allow you, I like the both and play. I like the moving into technology, getting the skill set you need to support yourself financially and this side hustle. Because you could develop an app that matches up to your podcast or your YouTube channel and where you're writing articles and you're beginning to build a regional, local platform in your area helping students. I love that idea. And I think you do too. So James, it's time to call Bethel Tech. betheltech.net, betheltech.net, and tell them I told you to talk to them and kick the tires. Ask all the questions, folks. There's a reason why I'm endorsing them and I'm partnering with them. We have a lot of people, by the way, every day calling Bethel Tech. They're going, okay, are you serious? In less than 9 months and less than 50,000, which, by the way, Ryan was in here, the CEO, Ryan Collins, was in here the other day. Joe, he told me, not on the air, but they're going to work out a monthly cash plan for people. No loans. You pay as you go.
That's excellent.
And they're going to give you a discount between $1,000 to $2,500. Because if you in my audience, you know I don't want you getting a loan for this. You don't need it. You can save up for it or cash flow your way through it. They'll work with you. Call them, betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. Tell them I told you to call. 844-747-2577. Let's go to the chat room. Matthew writes in, do you know of any way to get a real estate license online? Not off the top of my head. I don't have a site, and I'm not going to endorse a site and give you a site off the top of my head without doing my own vetting and research on them, because I don't want to send any of you folks to people that aren't going to treat you right. But yes, you can do online studying and preparing. Whether or not you can take a real estate test online in each state, I don't know if that is available, but you can find that out in about 2 minutes of research on Google. So go do that. Because again, getting a real estate license, that is a state license. So state by state, that's going to vary on what they allow. But are there programs that you can take online as far as the studying process? I'm positive those are out there. So yeah, go for that. You need to figure that out. Korgs writes, I've discovered my passion, but it doesn't generate a lot of money. Should I leave it as just a hobby or continue to pursue it as a career? This is one where I want you to call the show. I can't fully answer that question because I don't know what it is. And I want the opportunity to go back and forth with you and kind of dig into this. But my general answer is, if you don't call the program, 844-747-2577, there are hobby level passions. And if you are just simply capped due to the nature of it, and again, I don't know what I'm addressing, then no, I would not pursue it as a career if it's just limited financially. So for instance, if you're selling pet rocks, it's not going to ever be a full-time gig. It's just not. Now watch somebody email me and go, yeah, there's a really profitable pet rock business. I just can't believe that's true. So I think, if it's only going to produce a little bit of money, but it is a passion play and it doesn't eat up money, then it is always going to be a side hustle, a labor of love. It's not going to be a full-time business. 844-747-2577. All right. Very important for those of you that are applying. We've got the Ken Coleman Resume Guide, which is free at kencoleman.com. It gives you one free template. We now have 6 templates on the website in our store. We basically came up with multiple versions of my perfect resume that incorporates everything I teach in the resume guide, which, by the way, is a free PDF that you can download. All right. And we also have an article in our article section of the website, kencoleman.com. Click on articles, how to write a cover letter. So you can go read in depth what I'm about to share, but I want to roll through this real quick because I know people are on YouTube and they're pulling this stuff up and they're searching how to write a cover letter. And so I want you to be able to get the guts of this and know that then you can go and read the article in depth and in detail. Here we go. I'm going to roll through this. There's a lot of information coming at you, but you need to understand this. So the cover letter is that short letter that a lot of companies require. Now, my resume is so effective in the way we lay it out. And go get the resume guide at kencoleman.com. That you technically don't need it, but for those of companies that require a cover letter, I wanted to be able to give some very practical tips so that you don't look like a rebel right out of the gate. So here we go. This is what to include, and then I'm going to give you some tips for doing this. Number 1, what to include in a cover letter. I love to start with a headline. Think about a newspaper headline, a web article headline, a social media headline. And that's what we're talking about. And if you can kind of do some combination or separate versions here of these two things. Number 1, try to drop in some of that personal mission statement, the results that you care deeply about, and so that they see that it aligns with what they do. You don't even have to say it. They know what they do. But if you can drop in a little of that personal mission statement of the results that you really love to create and be a part of creating, and it aligns with what they do, that's going to really stand out. Also, if you can use some company phraseology without being cheesy, that's going to work. So, for instance, people that are writing a cover letter and applying at Ramsey Solutions, it's not a bad idea to say, hey, I've lived like no one else. Now I want to work like no one else. You get a little bit of Dave Ramsey and Ken Coleman right there in that one statement. And a recruiter's going to see that and go, oh, this is somebody who understands our language. That's the kind of thing. Number 2, tell them why you want the position. Come right out and tell them the why. Really great opportunity for them to align with you quickly. Talk about what you do best and what you love to do most. Talent and passion. Drop that in. Tell them what you bring to the team, and then get out of Dodge. Wrap it up. All right. Now that's kind of the menu. Here are some of the tips. Make sure you block off some time where you're not distracted. Treat this as though you're writing a chapter in a book. Don't just half-butt your way through the cover letter. Spend a little bit of thinking time and quiet time and put your best into this. Write some enthusiasm into the letter. We've all sent emails to people before or text. We do this every day where we can convey enthusiasm with words. Do it in the cover letter. I would go no more than 300 words. Short and sweet, baby. Less is more. That's the idea. And please, don't do the cliches. Don't do the cheesy pickup line that dudes are so guilty of. Don't drop that in your cover letter. They're going to look at you. They're going to smell the cheese on you. Drop the cliches. Customize the content. Every time you do a cover letter for a new job, customize it. Make sure it's really on point to the menu items I just mentioned a moment ago. Do something different. Do something a little different. If you've got some online a portfolio, for instance, drop the link in the cover letter. Go, hey, you can see my work in 60 seconds or less. Drop that in there. They're not used to people doing that. And then the last tip, triple check it yourself and have somebody else who's a word nerd, detail maniac look that cover letter over before you send it, and your resume for that matter as well. 844-747-2577 is the number, 844-747-2577. Before I let you go today, I just want to share this with you. We are in our final month of this year. And I want to just kind of, one quick reminder that I see evidence online, I see in conversations, I see this every year. And it's even worse this year. This pandemic and all of the crap that is surrounding it, regulations, stay at home, kids can't go to school, it's been exhausting. Whether you're for these things or against these things, I don't care what your political opinion is, I think everybody's pretty much done with 2020. It's been an exhausting year on some level, many levels, for all of us. And for those of you who've been laid off or furloughed and you're kind of stuck, there's a tendency to kind of mail in the last 3 weeks of the year, kind of go, you know what, I'm going to get a fresh start. I'm going to join the entire universe that gets fired up about a new beginning for the first 2 weeks of January, then they fall off. The New Year's resolution crowd. It's a bad idea because so many people are checking out in December. This is the time for you to double down and refocus. Put in the extra time. Make the extra contact. Dig deeper. Get qualified with something. Acquire a skill. Put your foot on the gas pedal and mash it. You will not regret it. That's my final challenge. My time is almost up. But before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.